dear. Y'all come back now, dear.
Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and I am doing a live stream, something that I am having to get used to. So if you are with me, then bear with me as I get this show on the road. So I'm in the Citation X by Laminar Research, and boy, if is this a really fantastic aircraft. This livery that I have is, I think it's a default livery. Yeah, it is. But it's a great aircraft. I am monitoring chat, so if you want to join in, then feel free. And let's get started here. So I'm at JFK, and the route today is going to take me to RDU. Let's see, now I think I may have put in a route on SimBrief. I actually have to check. Let's see. So let's see if we can't get a route figured out. All right, so JFK, RDU, and Rocky Mountain is our alternative since the weather looked like it might be pretty good there. We are going to use the suggested route here, and the only thing I need to do, let's see, is look at the weather at JFK. Um, Winds are 200 at 6, um, and 3026 is the altimeter. All right, 200 at 6. Then let's see what runway would make sense. Um, yeah, I think we want to use runway 22 something. Now, now we got to decide which runway makes the most sense, right? So let's do this if we can. Let's pull a sky vector over and look at the diagram for JFK. And we are over here at General Aviation, and 22 is, let's see, 4, yeah, 22 is this runway here. Um, so, yeah, looks like our best alternative would be, have to restart one of these computers. Okay, look like our best alternative would be to taxi Quebec. Let's say, I'm sorry, is that Quebec? Yeah, Quebec. Um, does it turn into Alpha or Mike? MA? Well, we're going to taxi, let's see, taxi up here and then hook a left on to Bravo. I think this is Alpha. Yeah, so we're going to take Quebec to Alpha to Bravo. Going to cross runway 13 on and line up at 22 right. Okay, so that's how we're going to get out of here today. All right, so we got that sorted out, and so let's make that 22 right. Update the star for that, and make sure that we got a star in there. And not a star, but a SID departure. Okay. And all right, keep going. Let's see. And for some reason, the Citation X would only allow 8 passengers in the FMC. So that's always what we're going to use in this aircraft. And we'll decide what our arrival is once we get a little closer. Let's see. Actually, let's see what the weather is at RDU. Winds are 100 at 3. So that's gonna be probably the fives, right? Okay, so yeah, and 5 right would actually put us closer to our um, FBO. Yeah, so rather than 5 left, so we'll use 5 right. All right, so don't have to worry about ETOPS planning or any of that stuff. So now that we've got that sorted out, we've done our walk around and everything looks fine. No chucks and no chocks or tie downs to be concerned about. Passengers are already loaded, so let's hop inside. All right, we're in a cold and dark state. So at this point, we are going to pull up our checklist. Now, since this does not, since the default aircraft does not support the since the default aircraft does not support the mount for the avatar, we're just going to use this guy here. All right, so um, yeah. So what we want to do, and if I can recall how to do this, so we're going to go to aircraft, going to pull up our checklist. We always use this one, and that's the one we want. All right, so let's get this guy started. All right, Cessna Citation 10, and let's see, max landing gear is 210 knots, so need to keep that in mind. I can extend the slaps at 250, and I've got some flap speeds. All right, keep those in mind. All right, documents are on board. Takeoff briefing is completed. Gear lever is down. Circuit breakers are all in. They're not really modeled, but didn't hurt to give them a quick little looky. All right, fuel boost switches can go to normal. Nice sounds in this aircraft. 3 position switches. And ignition can go to off. It always spin in with them on norm. All right, and batteries 1 and 2 can come on. All right, just double check that my parking brake is set, even though we'll get to that later on in the chat list. All right, avionics ECAS can come on, and we always turn that on so that we can monitor our hydraulics. Standby power can come on. That's these instruments here. So we want to be able to monitor those guys and make sure that they're working. Hydraulic hydraulic A comes on. Now you notice here I don't have any hydraulic pressure, so my brakes wouldn't work even if I would have had them take my chocks out and tap the brakes, I wouldn't get into stopping power. So let's turn these on, and that powers up some PSI electronically so I can get some brakes. All right, and let's turn on our ground recognition lights, and our APU can come on. All right, and we'll go ahead and turn our starter on. Got to hold it for a couple seconds and want to let that power up to 100%. It is okay to go ahead and turn our generator on even though it's not fully powered. And just for me, what I like to do at this point while I'm waiting on that is go ahead and turn my, even though it's not in the chat list, turn my passenger oxygen to auto and go ahead and turn this interior master on. Okay, so yeah, all right. And now I can go back and check. I would get a phone call. I actually got a chat list that I try to remember to make sure that I turn off my ringer on my phone. But anyway, go ahead and turn this guy on, and bleeds can come on, which they're already on. Okay, I just turned them on. Environmental packs can come on, and yeah, good deal. Avionics can now come on, and in real life, of course, I would have to give them some time to power up. All right, and let's see. Radio can get tuned. Now let me get my frequencies for my radio, and the quickest, easiest place to get that is from my airport diagram. And let's see, ATIS is let's see, 128.72. So we'll go ahead and dial that in. One 28.72, and flip that on in. And I know that I'm going to be talking to ground first. I'm not going to do clearance delivery, and this is not a VATSIM stream, so ground would be the first people that we are talking to, and therefore they are going in first, and ground for runway 22 right is going to be 123.9. Tower is going to be, let's see, runways 123 point, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, tower is 123.9 and ground is 121.9. So 123 and 121. All right. So 121, 9. Go backwards here. Get there faster. Flip that in, and then 123.9. That is so easy to get confused. So you see how you really have to be on your P's and Q's when you're flying aircraft. Okay, and so my radio is tuned, and let's just see if we can't listen to this ATIS. And whoops. Got Romeo. All right, good deal. So let's go ahead and put our altimeter in while we're thinking about it. I'll put it on the backup, 3025. It's a little inconsistent always with what's what our real world stuff says, but I've learned that X-plane tend to be a little bit behind the real world stuff by an hour or so. Okay, All right. So just wanted to go ahead and get that in there. And winds were light and variable. All right. All right. So autopilot's disengaged. And oxygen, let's go ahead and check oxygen. Make sure that our flight level today, I think I saw in sim brief. In fact, we were working in sim brief, and I don't think I say that yet, but I think our flight level was 38, which is a little high. We might amend that downward. Let's see. So yeah, right here we we're at about 48. So can bring that down. We'll bring it down to about 40, 41, 42. And flight level 410 or 420, somewhere there about. Okay. And that does it for our oxygen fuel. So we've got, where are we on fuel? Here we go. So we've got 4,060 pounds of fuel, not gallons, but pounds. And let's um, let's finish this guy up so that we can get an operational flight plan. Okay, so we know we want 2 right, 5 right, and uh, let's see. For RDU, I don't think we need 38. And actually, what we do probably is look at our winds aloft and see what would make the best altitude. But in this case, I'm actually going to use, let's see, going to come out over the ocean, and a lot of it's going to be over the water. Um, yeah, I think we go with, see, we're going odd. Odd is even, odder. All right, so we'll go with flight level 300, and I can live with that. All right, 3313 is current, and let's generate this bad boy. Make sure that I don't see anything funky. All right, looking good. So while that's generating, I can pull this back, and I should get a message. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. So I can import it now. All right. All right. So radio is tuned. Autopilot is disengaged. Oxygen is set. Fuel. Back to that flight plan. I can see it, even though you guys can't. And my block fuel is 5,112 pounds. You see that I only have 4,040 pounds, so I'm going to need to call the fuel truck. And since this is default, then we're going to call the fuel truck using the default system here. Customize, customize weight and balance, and just bring this guy up to 5,000. What was that? 5,112. So 5,182 is fine. All right. That give me an hour and 18 minutes worth of flight time in normal cruise. And I do like to have a little extra fuel. So yeah, we'll put a little extra fuel in. Wouldn't hurt. All right. And apply that. Okay. So we are good to go, guys. Let's make this happen. All right, warning tests. Well, flight plan is next, right? So let's go ahead and initial, initialize our flight plan. All right, and everything seemed to agree. So we'll load uh, the the position that we're at, and yeah. All right. So JFK, good deal. All right. And we go to nav here, get our flight plan from the list. We're looking for JFK to RDU. JFK to RDU would be this one. And we'll go ahead and activate that. That puts in our first set of waypoints. And JFK is a Bravo. Now, I don't think I can set the I don't think this will allow me to set the V now up. No, it won't, unfortunately. So I'm about to fly the V now by hand, which I would have done anyway, but just being cool to have those reminders. All right, so let's clear that out the way. All right, and let's see, we got 4 pages of that. Look for any discontinuities. Don't see any, but I'm sure I get one when I put in my arrival. Um, all right, and let's see what SimBrief computed for the arrival. Our arrival is the 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 tackle one. All right, so let's go ahead and drop that in. Okay, and tackle, uh, tackly, however that's pronounced. And our transition is ZJ. So we got that in, and our approach we'll do the ILS for 5 right, and as far as our transition, um, we're gonna go ahead and do otter. That's a little further out than Belch. That gives me a little bit more time to set up my approach. All right, and I think we're done. Right. So let's um let's review it one more time. Okay, there is a discontinuity. So we'll go straight to otter, straight from hmm, wait a minute now. I got per set in I'm gonna be flying the per set, right? So this is an opportunity to go back and make a correction. So I'm gonna go here to the arrival, select this again, and ZJ was my transition, the approach, 5 right, and okay, I don't have a per set. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it at Otis, Otis, tomato, tomato. All right, so yeah, here we go. And guys, I have just learned how to use the FMC in the last month or so. I've always avoided aircraft that forced me to use this guy because learning to use it was work. I thought it was work, and I didn't want to do the work to learn to use it. Anyway, so let's go. Let's review these again. You know what I think I did? I think I put in that same think I may have put the same flight plan in twice per set per. Okay, so if I go from here to Otters, right? Okay, and then to 5 right, and then my approach if necessary. I mean my missed approach if necessary. And yeah, all right. So I think I'm good to go now, guys. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and activate this. Let me just make sure I don't have anything in here twice. MJ, Yaze, ZJ, MJ, and ZJ. Okay, make sure that they want the same. And the other thing I need to look at is once I leave KFJ, I've got 31 nautical miles to Wavy. Okay, so it ain't something that I gotta rush to get in. All right, and then I get some flight altitudes. Let's see. That's this is actually this has to be my descent profile, which it is. And A stands for above and B stands for below. So at swept, I gotta be 9,000 feet or above, and at Carew, I gotta be 12,000 feet or below. So that's the way that reads. Um, and fly as a sign. That's gonna generate a discontinuity. So go ahead and grab Otis again and put that guy there, and we'll go straight from Stent to Otis. All right, and then Otis. See now, I do have something in twice because I'm going direct to Otis Hill, right? And then I got Belch. Yeah, so I got. Uh, this is confusing. Let's see. Actually, what I want to do is I want to go out and I think this Otis can be deleted. All right, so let's delete this Otis here. And then now we'll go straight to Belch. 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,200. And actually, we could have left that Otis in, but nevertheless, let's see, actually, we can probably put it back in. Grab it here. And just bear with me, guys. Like I said, this is a learning process for me. Now, I don't want to replace Belch with Otis. I want to insert it, and don't know if that's going to insert it or replace it. I'll tell you what, I am not going to mess with it. I'm just going to take this one out, and yeah, so that's going to be our approach, um, our nav approach there. Not R now because we are flying the ILS approach. Okay, and yeah, so we're done here. All right, I know that took a while. It always do when I work with this guy. So let's go ahead and activate it. Get um, our performances figures in. All right, so cruise altitude is flight level 300, and we can calculate, we can get our fuel directly from what's sensed. All right, and go to our next page, and then our next page. All right, everything look okay. Nothing that jumps out at me. And to be honest with you, even if it didn't look okay, I wouldn't be able to tell right now because I too am just learning. All right. Now, I still want this thing to calculate my V speed. So what I want to do now is go to my takeoff data. Um, so nav, how do I get to my takeoff data, right? Um, progress, flight plan. All right, departure data. Purse. There we go. Takeoff data. Here we go. All right, and next, I need to put it's got my winds. Pick those up automatically. It'll only let us do a dry runway. I'm hoping that somebody will modify this FMS, and make it so that we can use it a little bit more. All right, and then next page, and there's my V speeds. So usually once I get my V speeds, I'm happy that everything is in it the way it should be, and yeah, so yeah, we've got that all sorted out. All right, so flight plan. Let's do our warning tests, and okay, I'm almost forgetting where the warning test button is at. Here it is. All right, smoke, landing gear, fire warning, thrust reversals, check, flaps, windshield temp, and actually I don't really get anything for windshield temp, overspeed, angle of attack, and make sure I get an audible voice. Yep, so my voices are working. So yeah, I'm happy that the rest of them are work too. All right, warning test, V speeds, check, and also see it right here in my window. Altimeter has been set 3025, and hydraulics. Let's do it. Hydraulics is set. Okay, so now we can get this guy started up. All right. So, hey, Roger. Good to see you, my friend. I am not flying on VATSIM nor Pilot Edge today. I did renew my Pilot Edge subscription, but I'm doing an East Coast flight, and my frame rate, for whatever reason, when I'm on Pilot, I've been having so much trouble with VATSIM, with my frame rate, and for whatever reason, every time I get on VATSIM, VPilot throws an open mic. So until I get that sorted out, then I've been avoiding VATSIM. So, all right, now let's. Oh, by the way, I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. All right, doors and windows are closed. Seatbelt sign can go on. This is the Citation 10, and let's find that right button. Seatbelt sign is this guy. Anti-ice as required, and I don't need an anti-ice right now. next page, and go to the top of the next page. Brakes are set, but eyeball them. Yep. Chocks are removed. Throttles left and right are cut off. Make sure. Good deal. And environmental packs can go to off because I'm about to start the aircraft and it's gonna need whatever power it can get, just a safety concern. All right. And engine start light is extinguished, and right engine can go to norm. Engine start engage. N2 needs to get to 20%. I'm at 10, 17, 20. All right. And give it some fuel and monitor. All right. Got light off. That really sounds good. All right. So we can do the left engine. Um, well, ignition can go to off, right? So ignition can go to off, and now engine start light is extinguished. Ignition is on, can go to norm. Engine start can go to engage. Thank you. It is a gorgeous aircraft. It really is. All right, 20%. Gee, man, I thought you were talking about I was gorgeous. That's why I hollered, thank you. No, I'm just teasing. Um, okay, so I'm looking for 2, 5, and 6 on the M1 and ITT and 2. Actually, 2, 4, and 6 works fine too. So I got a good start. Engine ignition light is off. This can go off. Environmental packs can go back on. All right. And we've got a good start. Okay, so moving on to my after start checklist. Engine gauges. Let's check them out. Make sure that don't see anything really funky. Generators are off. We know that. Um, and yeah, this is a good time to make sure that these are set to my FMC because I have been known to not see that. All right. And after start checklist, generators right and left can come on. Right, left. Hydraulics A pump can go off. And hydraulic check. I got positive hydraulics on both sides. Very good. And APU bleed and APU start can go to stop. Okay, APU bleed can go off, and APU start can go to stop. Passenger oxygen can go to auto. I've already set that up, but doesn't hurt to double check. That is on auto right here. And center wings transfer left and right can go to norm, and they're already set to norm. Good deal. And cabin pressure can get set. Whoops, scroll that mouse on the wrong thing. And cabin pressure, we had already set that, but it just that it doesn't hurt to take a second look at it. Pack bleed, select, and go to norm as opposed to high pressure. Let's see, cabin pressure set, taxi instructions. At this point, if we were doing VAT sim, we would call and get our taxi instructions, but we know we're going to take Alpha to Quebec to Bravo to runway 22 right, cross runway 13. Actually, my whole short at 13 before I cross because traffic global is running, and there's always that possibility that I could have traffic. All right, so I don't really want to do a night flight, so I'm gonna play the Almighty and let there be light. I don't know what time I just set it back to, but well, sun is kind of low in the sky. Let's raise it up a little bit more. All right, so that works for me. And all right, so where were we? We were at after start, I think. Okay, and pre-takeoff. All right, so let's go ahead and get our we got our taxi instructions. Now we just need to be able to taxi to our location, and I am actually pulling in this flight from, let's see, I want to import it on Navigraph charts. Um, I don't know if you can, well, I'm sharing everything. JFK, and so let's see if we can zoom in on our airport. So we're right here at General Aviation. We're going to take Alpha to Quebec, Quebec to Alpha, actually. Um, Not sure, but anyway, uh, yeah, we take Quebec to Alpha, yeah, to Alpha, and then Alpha to Bravo. Let's see which one of these are Bravo. I think Bravo is the outside, the outside lane. Okay, and I'm gonna pull that over where I can see it. I know you guys won't be able to see it. All right, and drop this off just for the time being. All right, brakes are set. All right, taxi lights. Well, let's see. Let's look at this guy again. Okay, windshield heat on, flaps as required. We're doing a flap 15 takeoff. So here's our flaps, and it's right here. Flap 15. Taxi lights are on. And nav lights can go on, but they're not really required. So I am not going to worry about nav lights. Well, let's go ahead and turn them on. What the heck? All right, speed brakes, full forward, and make sure that our brakes are full forward. Okay, so something is amiss because my Alpha Bravo is not pulling it full forward. Okay, all right, trim 4.5 to 5.4. Trim is at 6.4, and in reality, my FMC should be able to calculate exactly what trim setting I need, but and there's a mathematical formula that or lookup tables that I could use, but I don't have access to them. Left bleed air can go on. Left bleed air can go to high pressure, low pressure. So, and right bleed air can go to high pressure, low pressure. That's those guys. Hey, Neil, how are you? Blue skies to you too, my friend. Glad you joined. So, I'm doing a flight from JFK in the Citation 10, and I know it's really loud. I might be able to do something about that. It may not be as loud to you guys as it is to me. Let me just check. Well, maybe it's not as loud to you guys as it is to me. So I'm doing a flight from JFK to RDU, my home airport. Yeah, it is excellent for a default. I agree wholeheartedly. And I have a checklist that I have developed, redeveloped, and I've uploaded it to my website so that so I'm sharing it with the world. And yeah, so I'm just going through it, getting this flight set up so that we can get off and airborne. And I'm just about to start my taxi. All right. Yep, it is a default X-plane aircraft, Roger. Um, and this aircraft by itself, to me, is worth half of the price of X-plane 12. The reason I say half and not fully is because the systems are there, but they just don't go deep enough. Um, like I was saying, some of the stuff in the FMC don't work, and some stuff is just not modeled. Like this button here doesn't really do anything, but I flip it for immersion. The ELT button is not modeled. A lot of stuff is not modeled. None of this is modeled. I think it would make a excellent aircraft for the community to grab and mod it, like, similar to what they did with the Zebo and some of the other projects that they have modded to make the aircraft better. We really do need a biz jet that's that's free to the community and mod it real well. All right, so let's see if we can't get our taxi on. I know, right? Total Rico, man. That guy is he's incredible with what he's done to the Challenger. Incredible. All right. So taxi lights are on, strobes are not on, nav lights are on, brakes disengaged, shocks are removed. Let's make this happen. Find a yellow brick road. Right brake working. Left brake is working. And clear. See, I got that sterile taxi thing going on. But I'm one of those guys that if I take my eye, oh, I'm going the wrong way. Am I? If I take my eye off the the yellow brick road for even a second, then I tend to veer either left or right dramatically. All right. Now I see some stuff that might get me out of here. So I'm looking for Quebec, I think. And a right turn here. That says Papa. Okay, so maybe it is Papa rather than Quebec. And lo and behold, I can't be that way because I see trees at the end of the runway. So I am going to do a dime turn. I know that too well. Try to set up the last bits of pre-departure while you taxi, and you'll find yourself all over the place. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. See, I don't see those trees now, way down now, because I knew I've got a super long taxi. The my runway is literally at the other end of the airport. So where you flying from or to, Roger? I see you got 10 minutes left in Microsoft Flight Sim. So I'm assuming that you got 10 minutes before you land. Okay, so right now I can probably dismiss this guy until I need it again. JFK, New York, New York. Okay, I see some oncoming traffic. Hopefully they'll turn or yield and allow me to grab one of the other runways. Oh man, look there, something's going on. Got the police over here. Oh, okay. I know, right? I probably got, oh, maybe 20 hours in Microsoft Flight Sim. Maybe 20 hours. Now, what happened, he'll stop and I've stopped. So the logic on this AI aircraft is smart enough to see that he needs to stop. And I got collide turned off, so technically I could go through him, but just for the sake of immersion, I will yield the runway. Yeah, this is a traffic package, traffic global, which is pretty good. Like a A380 there. Lufthansa. How about that? Yep, traffic global. Okay, so I'm gonna jump over in this other in this other runway, taxiway that is. By the way, the latest version of Xpilot added contrails to traffic. Oh, cool, cool. Oh man, I got over here and now I got traffic over here. So maybe I can switch back before I get to this guy. Make sure that he's coming towards me. Yep, he's coming towards me. Time to appreciate the size of, yeah, that was a big, those things are big. Those A380s. Clear left, clear right. Too bad. Oh man, it is. Everybody's going to 1-3, I think, and I'm trying to work my way down to 2-2. I'm sorry, everybody. Looks like they are trying to work their way to runway 131, and winds were light and variable. Let me just get another quick ATIS report. Oh wow, Flight Sim 2004. You know, I've got that set of discs right here beside me on my bookshelf, and I don't think, well, I know I don't have anything to run it on. In fact, I bought the Steam version of Flight Sim X, Microsoft Flight Simulator 10, just so that I could reminisce on what it was to run it. I remember trying desperately to to get the eye candy sliders turned all the way up, and I never could. And now that I can and have turned them all the way up, I see that I really won't missing much. But Flight Sim X was an incredible flight um, simulator. I mean, it really pushed the envelope. Good night. Good night, Roger. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I missed my Flight 1 ATR badly enough to consider reinstalling it. So this should put me on Bravo, I think. Should be picking up Bravo. And that's Alpha to Bravo on the outside ramp, taxiway. All right, get a marker here. Bravo, good deal. All right, let's just check the ATIS one more time. Hadn't changed. Tango has changed. I was at Romeo last time. I don't know if you guys can hear the ATIS because it's playing in my ear, and I got headsets on. And yeah, let me know, Niels, if you heard the ATIS. I don't think you did because it's not the the streaming software is monitoring what's coming out the speakers. I'm gonna play it one more time and look at the meters. Yeah, I don't think you heard it. All right. So we are coming up on our runway. I hope. No, we got to cross runway 113. 13 left, I think. So, Niels, quick question for you, my friend. Do you think after flying the flight simulator for all the time that you've been flying it, that you might be able to fly and land a real aircraft? And if so, which aircraft do you think you might be able to fly and land if you've never flown before? Yeah, I think Niels, I appreciate that. Okay, let's say Frank, I'm here for the flight. We're on the same time zone. I think Niels is about to go to sleep. Oh, did I have it wrong? I was thinking, oh, okay, that was you saying good night to Niels. My bad. I was absent the day they taught us how to read certain words that day. All right, so clear left, clear right, and cross runway 13 left. Citation 750 Sierra Whiskey. All right, strobe lights can come on. Uh, the and the landing lights can come on. The alpha lights doesn't work on the Citation, so you have to literally hit the buttons. So, Roger, did were you able to hear the ADAS a few minutes ago? Maybe less than 5 minutes ago, I played it. I don't think you could because it was playing in my ear as opposed to through my speakers. But I think the engine sounds are playing in my ear also, so maybe you could. All right, and lights can go off now. Uh, uh, that's not good. Thought for a second there I shut my engines down. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't think you could hear the ADAS. Can you hear the engine sounds? It just dawned on me. Okay, good deal. Yeah, I see them in the VU meters, so I guess you can hear those. Hmm. I don't know why you couldn't. What I have to do to get the ADAS to play through the speakers. Well, it is what it is. All right. Taxiing is hard on the on the system. I get this queasy feeling because my brain can't reconcile sitting here still with moving with the movement. Anyway, um, that's all good and good. I'll just keep working on it, and maybe it'll get better. All right. So checklist. All right. Pre-takeoff Speed brake full forward. Left engine bleeds. Air is set. Right engine bleed. Landing lights can come on. Okay. Well, I should put a brake here and call this right here on the checklist. Let's see. Yeah, right here on the checklist, I should make this takeoff rather than pre-takeoff and start with turning the lights on. So yeah, I think I'll do that in the next iteration. All right. Um, Clear for takeoff, runway 22 right. Citation 7500 whiskey. All right, so got my takeoff clearance, and that means that now I can turn these lights on, turn the strobes on, a little bit slow at it. And before I take the runway, I do want to put my altitude in. Oh, so, all right. Trying to use the Bravo to do this, and it's working now. All right. And I think that chart was at 3,000. So we'll set this for 2,000 for 29. And flaps are set, 15. And what I didn't set was this guy. And we'll just squawk. Come on, give me an outside. 2635, that works. All right. Yeah, those helicopters. Yeah, those are above my pay grade, my friend. All right. Slide this down here. Cockpit look kind of dark. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps 5. Nav. VNav. I don't have a VNav profile set up. Y'all damper is on. In New York. All right, autopilot is engaged. And vertical, vertical, vertical. Where are you? There you go. Nose up. I'm letting the aircraft get away from me. See, nose up. I have no helicopters for me yet. I have looked at them, but um, they seem they seem more easy to crash than to fly. That goes without saying. But no, I haven't flown the helicopters yet. I have learned that I would probably come out better trying to fly a heavy a heavy a heavier helicopter as opposed to a light one, um, because I understand that they. Why am I stalling here? Yeah. Just give me a second to get caught up. Vertical speed. Flaps slacked. And just give me a second here to get caught up with the aircraft. Let me turn on this guy. And my vertical speed is set for 300 feet, yet I'm trying to climb at 3,000 feet. What's up with that? Okay, let's go back to this guy here. Okay, I think that might be a trim issue. All right, speed and altitude restrictions are lifted. So let's go ahead on and go up to my flight level, my cruise level, which was 300. I bet. So you've flown in a Huey. Wow. I was telling my daughter that I would love to fly, take a helicopter ride at some point. And we were talking about going to Florida next time she goes to Florida. If I want to meet up, then maybe we could take an excursion trip in Florida. I think she was saying that we could go up for like 10 or 15 minutes for around 100, $120, somewhere there about. So yeah, I think that might be my opportunity to take a real world flight in a helicopter. Get the slacks out here. But just looking at them fly, hovering and the things that helicopters can do. I have, let's say, I think X-Plane 12 has a bell. I mean, not 12, but X-Plane 11 has a helicopter. It has the Sikorsky, and I think there was another one that I had tried to fly. That's an X-Plane 11, and it was, I spent about 15 minutes, and I was like, well, I don't have the hand-eye coordination or the yeah, I just couldn't work the collectives. Yeah, I will do it. At least that's the plan. So let's see if we can turn up some of these bat lights on this stuff. Um, that's fluids. That might help us see a little better. So, what about you? Do you fly the helicopter in X-plane? Hey, Melvin Leroy. Sorry, I almost missed you there. Yeah, I'm in the 10. So Melvin Leroy from Twitch has chimed in, and Melvin has a great channel. Roger, if you're ever on Twitch, then you should check out Melvin Leroy. In fact, even on YouTube, um, most of his Twitch streams wind up on YouTube now. So I am doing a multi-stream for the first time, streaming on both platforms, Twitch and YouTube. So this is the Citation 10, and it's an awesome bird. Let's see. Whoops.
Welcome back now. Welcome back now.
Sorry. So Roger, I see you are a helicopter guy. The AS-350 AS. What is an AS? I know the Bell, the AW, and I guess the H-145 would be the Huey. At least that's just my guess. Shows you how little I know about helicopters. So, like we're headed almost due. Let's see, look like there is a sun, so that would be a westerly, like we're going about 235. And I gotta say that Microsoft did a great job at modeling the sun. Um, I did a video earlier today comparing scenery, X-plane scenery against Microsoft scenery over the Grand Canyon, and believe it or not, I like X-plane scenery better than Microsoft scenery. Oh, okay. The Bell 412, gotcha. So the AW, they call it the AS 350B. The squirrel is fitting. Squirrely, huh? Let's see, I don't think I did my 10,000 foot check, nor my 18,000 foot check. So we'll go standard here. Get these lights out. And just for, I think I've done everything that's in my checklist, but just for a good measure, let's just check. Why is my tablet not showing up? Oh, okay, because I pulled it down here. All right, after takeoff, gear up. Autopilot is engaged, flight director is on, landing lights are off, flaps are retracted, climb power is set, and oil pressure is in the green. Next page. Climb, seatbelt signs can go off, strobes are off, cabin pressure is set. Double check. Okay, looking good. Anti-ice is needed. Well, I'm over the clouds at this point. Pitot heat should be on, and it is. Don't see any cast. And transition altitude is set. Okay. All right. If you can hoover the squirrel, you've done something profound. If I can hoover any of them, I've done something profound. But it's that squirrely, huh? So I'm gonna have to check out a video on that. Let me make a note here. That's the AS 350B. Hello. Yeah, I have to check that out. Either both in real life or in the sim. So, Melvin Leroy, I know you have dropped off, but when you speak, you got to stick around, my friend, because it takes me a while to see your message, especially on Twitch. Okay, so So I've got this guy turned off. Yep. I'm gonna leave the master on. I'm at cruise altitude and I'm just about to overspeed. One thing about X-plane, whenever the citation overspeeds, then it starts this porpoising oscillation behavior. But I want to slow it down to roughly about 300. I guess we'll leave it about right here. If we can find out what right here is. So, what is the service ceiling for the 350B or the Bell 412? Now, earlier you said Bell 412. They called the AS 350B. So I'm thinking that's the same. That's the same helicopter. So the 350 is the Squirrel. Okay, the 412 is the Huey. And the service ceiling for the Squirrel is, well, obviously it goes above the service ceiling. If they broke a record, I would assume. All right. Cool. I tell you, uh-oh, I think I just crashed. Yep. Uh, that sucks. One thing about X-Plane, once it crashes, there is no recovering from it. I Got a Vulcan device loss. I do hope they resolve these issues. Let's see. So at this point, yeah, and at this point, it won't even give me control back over the sim has hadn't time. I'm just waiting on the timeout. I do. I've got a 3080 Ti, and I just upgraded it a few days ago. And let's do it this way. So I brought up my task manager, and looking at the process, and explain is still using memory dynamically, and it's not really using any CPU. So I guess it did crash. I was hoping that maybe with some luck it will recover, but I've never had that to happen after it was out this long. But what I don't see is the not responding. I don't see that it says it's not responding. So I guess it's kind of insane sitting here hoping that it recovers. 12/12/22. Let's see. I'll pull that up in a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end this task to be able to do anything differently. Okay, so and check for updates. Um, this one was released on 1/5/23, and it looks like it is a new driver. So might as well go ahead and install it. Shouldn't take but a minute. And fortunately, it usually don't require a reboot anymore. So there's a new driver for it. Most of the times, the new drivers just have stuff to make the 4080 and the 4090 more compatible. Uh, didn't mean to do that. I actually want to go get rid of this guy and hit this guy. Let's see if I want 4080 Ti. Yeah, so this is probably for the 4080 Ti for the most part. Uh, these these drivers, of course, it's not unheard of for them to have some tweaks for some of the older cards like the 3080, I even the 10, I even the 1080. So so yeah, get that installed. 10 games available for DLS S3. Um, Preparing to install. So I minimize that. Let's see if I can't get this guy back up. Failed to initialize Vulcan and can't run. Yeah, it is fussing at my driver. So might as well sit here and wait. So yeah, that sucks.